Hello everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Today is Friday, September the 5th, 2018. It is about 10 a.m. Mid-Atlantic time here on the East Coast, and it is rainy, drizzly, and dreary, and chilly after being very warm the last few days. So that being said, now that I got the weather and the time update all done for that, I want to talk about this past week's news and what we have seen. Now, you know I like to try with this channel to do something a little different than other people, meaning I go over the news, I go over the events that are happening, and I try to put that and correlate that with the Bible, what the Bible may say about this or what the Bible may say about that. I don't think there's many channels that specifically do that, and if there is, well, I haven't come across any, so I try to, correlate things that are going on in our daily lives with what the Bible and what the Bible has to say about that. So this past week, we are still on the Judge Kavanaugh execution, as I should say. You all know I support Judge Kavanaugh. I don't keep it any secret. I yell right out at the front. I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, and I am a born-again Christian. I do not support abortion of any kind. I believe it is murder, and therefore I believe that is one of the main reasons why the Democratic left are fighting this confirmation so hard. Now, as we all know, last week Jeff Flake got cornered in an elevator by some paid activist who I believe was, if I'm not mistaken, I read right, was some people did some investigating. She was on George Soros's payroll, which, surprise, surprise, that man's got his little fat fingers and all kinds of little pies all over this world. But, again, that's another video for another day and another time. Judge Kavanaugh, Jeff Flake, he caved onto the paid agitator, paid protester, paid whatever you want to call in the elevator, and he requested alongside the Democrats for an FBI background check on Mr. Brett Kavanaugh, or Judge Brett Kavanaugh. So, every Democrat clamored about that last week, and guess what? They got their way, thanks to Jeff Flake. No harm, no foul, it's done. Done is done. Now that it's complete, and the FBI said they have not found any new evidence, and not only that, Mrs. Ford's story has crumbled and crumbled as time's gone on. As you know, the Bible says, here we go with the correlation, God says your misdeeds, your wrongdoings, your treachery, your evilness, all of that will be brought into the light. And that means everybody, including myself, including you, including the most powerful people on the face of the earth. So there's one correlation right there. So her story is falling apart. Her ex-boyfriend came out. Different things have come out. Her own witnesses refute what she says, and that to me is telling is within itself. But I digress. So now the Democrats are aggravated. They're upset. They're saying that the FBI, who several days back, maybe a week back, were upstanding, fine organization, good government organization that is neutral, that does not side with one side or the other. They just do their job like men and women, blah 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 blah. Okay, and this is coming from good old Kamala Harris and good old Spartacus himself's mouths last week, and I'm sure if you go online you would find those quotes. That one I specifically took from Kamala Harris, where she said they are upstanding, not partisan, they're good men and women. So now that the decision, or I don't want to say verdict, but what the FBI come back with is not what the liberal Democrats wanted to hear. So now the FBI is part of the deep state. Now the FBI is crooked. Now the FBI is under Donald Trump's thumb, and they're only going to do what he wants. Donald Trump's pulling their strings. You cannot please these people. I am sorry. You cannot please them no matter what you do, unless it turns out 100% in their favor. Other than that, they're never happy. They will not accept it. I'm going to go back several months, and I'm going to bring this and wrap this all up right here. If this doesn't tell you that this is a sham, whether you don't like Judge Kavanaugh or not, the man was guilty from the get-go when it comes to the Democrats. He had to literally prove his innocence, and that's not what we do in this country, although that's what the Democrats want it to be done. I'm going to go back 26, or I can't remember if it was 26 or 27 minutes after Judge Kavanaugh was announced as the pick from President Donald Trump. Chuck Schumer went on television and he said, now I'm not quote word for word, but this is pretty well much what he said, we are going to fight this nomination, this confirmation, tooth and nail. We are not going to stop until we can block his confirmation. Again, that's not an exact quote, but that is pretty well much in the ballpark. They were already going to say no before any of this happened. Before the hearing, 26 or 27 minutes, let's just say 26, after the announcement, they were on TV, the leader of the Senate Democrats stating they're going to fight this nomination tooth and nail, or this confirmation tooth and nail, and that was going to be that. That is what they said. And that is telling within itself. They did not want him from the get-go. It didn't matter who President Trump put up, they were going to fight. They were going to fight this tooth and nail no matter what. They already said none of them were going to vote for him back in July. So this is absolutely ridiculous to begin with. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about the Senate Democrats and the Democrat Party in general, then I'm sorry, nothing on this earth will ever fully tell you what they're about. Now, here comes a good correlation, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. This verse sums up, as far as I'm concerned, the liberal, progressive, socialist Democrats today and for the past 10 years or so since Barack Obama did his terms. This sums them up to a T. Okay? To a T. Now, Isaiah 5:20, you have to excuse me, I'm driving. Isaiah 5:20 basically says they call evil good, or good evil. They see light for darkness, darkness for light, and sweet for bitter, and bitter for sweet. I may have reversed a few of those, but that's what it says. And that is what the Senate Democrats have shown clearly. This man's a good man. Perfect? No. Nobody said he was. Nobody said he was. You have to remember, doing the 6 FBI background checks on this man had a clearance where he had access to the nuclear codes. Let that sink into your noodles for a minute. This man had access to the nuclear arsenal, the nuclear codes of the United States of America, which by no means is the most powerful nation upon this earth. So if the man was fully capable and fully investigated to have something of that magnitude to be cleared for, then I'm sorry. He is good for the Supreme Court. None of us have anything from our youth that is perfect. We have all made mistakes. We've all sinned, and we still do. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. We all do. We all sin. That's part of life. That's part of being a Christian or a non-believer or whatever you want to call yourself. So yeah, Isaiah 5:20 sums them up to an absolute T. To close out on this, I want to say one last thing. I want to say, with this vote, there is 3 senators that I'm a little shaky on, and that is Collins, Murkowski, and Flake. I do not know if they're going to fall for this Democrat hogwash, although I believe this morning Collins had said she was completely satisfied with the FBI report. and the background check that they did the 7th time, I think that might be good news. That she's satisfied with it. So we'll see. They need those votes. They get them or not, I don't know. I don't. But any Democrat that is serving in any type of red state, believe me, come the midterms, if you vote no on this man after he's been absolutely slaughtered for no reason. His own daughter, 10-year-old daughter, was made fun of praying. Was made fun because she prayed. That is what I mean with them with Isaiah 5:20. They attack anything that's good and wholesome in this day and time. They just do not see anything that is good and wholesome anymore. They are evil. They are perverted. And I can throw some Republicans in there too. I'm not just picking on the Democrats. Don't even go in the comments and say that, because there's been some bad Republicans, and one just passed away, and John McCain. And he stood before the Lord. I hope he made things right with God before he died. I don't know. I'm not going to judge John McCain. Like the Bible says, you'll know them by the fruit they bear. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below. Subscribe. Please pass this on to anybody and everybody you want to. Please, 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 no dirty or filthy comments below. No profanity. I will not tolerate it. I will be a dictator in the comments. I will be. I will be my own little dictator, because I will delete your comments and I will mute you. I will not tolerate that. Act like an adult. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I am not someone's going to call you names and this, that, and the other. I will happily speak with you. But profanity and name calling is just not accepted. Have a wonderful day. God bless every one of you. Bye-bye. Until the next video, stay safe. Take care.